Good afternoon, everyone. This is Matt over at MilestoneCapitalGrowthPortfolio.com. Today is Wednesday, July 16th, and we're going to first take a look at the Dow here. This thing is just rocketing. Okay, now we're outside the upper Bollinger Band. Last time we did that, we broke down and came down for the next 2 days. Same with over here, but we channeled across for 2 days and then dropped for 2 days. So, we broke out of it over here. We dropped for 2 days. So let's keep this pattern intact here. And I think we did break over the R1 today, right into close. So I'm sorry, R2, which is one of your pivots. So what I'm expecting is this type of action right here. We're going to get a nice little pop tomorrow morning. And I think we're going to sell off after that or have a flat day after that. I don't think it's going to be too huge. Let's take a look at the weekly view here. The weekly view is beautiful. It broke this double top right here. It's doing really well. Still has up here to go to 17,218. Looks really doable. Relative strength index is at 72. And your relative strength index here is at 72 on the monthly. So your monthly looks good also. You had this double bottom come into play here, and then it's closing higher than this month. So it really looks like through the summer here we're going to get, we could get up there pretty good. So we'll have to keep an eye on the Dow. It looks good on all time frames right now. We might get a daily pullback, but your weekly is beautiful, and your monthly is beautiful. So we are going higher, that's for sure. You can't beat this unless something stops us, and I don't know what's going to. Excuse me. All right, the S&P 500, same thing here. You pulled down and then bounced back up again. Today had a little bit of selling action, and then came back and closed a little bit higher. I do have the red candle there. I don't know why, but it was light volume, nothing huge. The Dow did have a big volume candle today, which concerns me, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. This here, it looks good on the weekly. We are higher than this, but we haven't finished this week out yet, so it's going to be tough to see. If we can close under the 197.47, then we are going to start our drop. But the monthly looks good also, except for you did pull back from the high a little bit, as you can see here. And if we do not close above this candle here for the month, then expect us to dip down a little bit here and reset. So we'll have to see what happens. All right, let's take a look at Twitter. Excuse me. Twitter came up from a technical standpoint. When you're using these charts, it's awesome to know the support and resistance. Support and resistance here for Twitter. We had beautiful support here at the 50-day moving average, and came up and hit the middle Bollinger Band perfectly, and has been selling off since. Okay, it's just a technical trade, but I do think we're going to have a higher low. Higher than this one, and we're going to start moving up again, but not just yet. We're going to have to see if this 50-day moving average holds. So looking at the daily, you can see, it's just going to consolidate a little bit here. It is much higher than it was, so it's definitely in an uptrend pattern. But taking a look at the weekly here, last week we were, we had that big sell-off, and then this week we tried to push it a little bit, and it's not doing it. It's just not doing it. All right, but this was a nice move. This is a consolidation move. You can see your middle Bollinger Band acted as resistance, okay? And we're starting to pull back down again. The bottom of this candle should be your support now at 36.22. It should be. Taking a look at the monthly, you can see the monthly is going to consolidate also. So, you have this little area here that Twitter is working with right now. So that's what you want to stay focused on. If we can close outside this box, we're going to be very aggressive. If we don't close outside this box for the month, then we're going to come down a little bit. And that's just the way it is. But this is your support area now. But we should have a higher low for this month, and then we could move a little bit higher unless something changes at like earnings or whatever the case may be. So that's your box set up for Twitter. All right, Delta. Delta, same thing. Using all your tools, you get it perfectly. We had a nice dip down over here to 34, rocketed all the way up to the middle of the Bollinger Band here, and then said, okay, break time. So it was a great move on Delta Airlines. But if you look over here, the middle Bollinger Band has been support, and it's starting to look better. And you look at the monthly, there's nothing broken about this. This looks fantastic. Plenty of room too with the relative strength index. It looks really good here. Just a healthy little pullback. Might come over here to the 36.80, but I don't think so. I think probably 37.60, somewhere in that area. depending on the market itself, of course. So 37.22, but these are all your supports and resistances. Make sure you use those so you know. All right, PCLN, how's that one? PCLN, same thing here. A beautiful move off the 50-day moving average, broke the middle Bollinger Band, cruised up over to the 100-day moving average, broke that, and has since started dropping when it came into the bottom of these for resistance. Okay, so you're talking about a nice move from 1208 all the way up to 1243. I mean, that was a beautiful move. Okay, so it just needs a little bit of reset right now. That's all it is. But it did regain itself on the middle Bollinger Band on the weekly. So if we can hold this, then we're going to continue to the upside. But if we close under the middle Bollinger Band, make sure you get puts on this one. You do have some support right here and on the weekly, and that's about it. You got to keep an eye on that. If that fails, if we get under the middle Bollinger Band on the weekly, you can plan the next week is going to be red. Here's some concerning look here. You have this top right here, and this bottom is really close right here, this double bottom, and that's why it bounced off. That's what it bounced off of last time, right in this area. But if this fails, you could see PCLN dropping pretty good. I understand earnings are going to play a role in all these, so you have to plan that out also. But from a technical perspective, this is what we're looking at right now, and we'll go on to Google. All right, Google. Google looks good. Broke out of this consolidation box, moved to the upside. This box acted as support, and it bounced up again a little bit higher. And it closed a little bit. I mean, it was a little bit higher than this candle for this run here. Now it's starting to pull back again. You have your middle Bollinger Band here, right here at 583. That's going to be your next support on the daily. Your next support over on the weekly is the same thing. You can see it's in a beautiful uptrend. Okay, if you draw a line here, if you're a one-day trader, then it's not good, but if you're looking for a long-term trade, it's been holding its support line and just trending to the upside perfectly. It looks good. Monthly's looking a little rough right here, but you have to expect a pullback. 561 is this candle support right now. Watch this wick right here at looks like 538. If this drops any lower, 541 maybe, then keep an eye on that area for Google. All right, we'll look at Apple. Apple had that news with IBM today. And yeah, I messed up all the charts. Hold on, I have the splits in here. That's why it's over the middle Bollinger Band, but it did sell off after it made a nice. It was at 98 pre-market or something like that, and it just pretty much continued selling off throughout the day. But if you take a look at the weekly here, the weekly is just riding this upper Bollinger Band very nicely prior to the split, and then after the split, you can see here we're starting to trend to the upside very nicely again. So once we get going again, I think Apple eventually will come up and fill that, but just like everything else does. And you just have to make sure your entries and exits are planned properly from the day, how low you can get. We do have there is a gap if you look at stock charts at 72, and that would be a perfect entry in my opinion. But right now, there's really not too much data that you can tell on that one. But you can see on the monthly, you're still over the middle Bollinger Band. So that's your key right here. Your key is this 516. If it gets under the 516, forget it. It's going to go to that. Wait a minute, 516. Hold on a second. Let me stretch this out a little bit. I'm looking at this the wrong way. There we go. My apologies. So zooming in on this, you really can't tell. It's just sitting here on these two, 94.78. There's not enough data to tell. I keep the splits in here just so I can use them for my own benefit. But using the daily, keep an eye on this. You have the middle Bollinger Band support here, 93.42. But I know earnings and everything are coming up pretty soon, so I'll have to work off of that. All right, Facebook. Facebook looks good. Facebook looks great. Double bottom here, did very well, moved up. Had a nice little double bottom here again, and the dip on that actually pulled back up. Janet was very mean to us yesterday and trashed some of these Twitter and social networks and the bios, but definitely regained some of its ground today. And this candle right here is awesome. Okay, on the weekly, this is telling you that it's going higher, bounced right off the middle Bollinger Band. This nice doji here, closing higher. I'd like to close this week over these two right here. If we do that, then look for this one to get going to 70 real soon here. Monthly looks beautiful also after this double bottom. After you had a big move here, pulled back a little bit, a nice double bottom with these two candles, and then started moving up. Janet messed this up, but now it's fixed. So we have to do is close over this. Then we're going to get back here and test this high real quick, and that's going to be right about 72.54. So keep an eye on Facebook for a long term. All right, this is Matt over at Milestone Capital Growth Portfolio. Have yourself a great night. If you guys aren't a member, come on in. Live chat all day long. This is what we do. Members, we have a fantastic video tonight, so make sure you get over there and check that out. All right, have yourself a great night.